The Supreme Court smacked down Donald Trump and his anti-immigrant bigotry by ruling 9-0 against stealing citizenship away from immigrants who made mistakes on their immigration forms when becoming naturalized citizens. Essentially, Trump wants to be able to claw back the citizenship rights of people who've moved to this country, even if they've done nothing wrong, but just made a few mistakes on their application, such as forgetting or accidentally misstating certain details, even ones as simple as lying about your body weight or breaking the speed limit many years ago. Does that sound ridiculous? Well, even Chief Justice Roberts, who is a conservative, thought that that was absolutely ridiculous too. Here's a back and forth from the oral arguments of the case. So Chief Justice Roberts says, quote, "Some time ago outside the statute of limitations, I drove 60 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I was not arrested." Now you say that if I answer that question no, 20 years after I was naturalized as a citizen, you can knock on my door and say, guess what? You're not an American citizen after all? Is that right? And the Justice Department attorneys responded with this, quote, "Well, I would say two things. First, that is how the government would interpret that it would require you to disclose those sorts of offenses." And the Supreme Court Chief Justice said, oh, come on. Look, Trump's attorney here is literally arguing that lying about following the speed limit would subject every single naturalized citizen in America to being thrown out of the country, which is why the Chief Justice reacted with such exasperation. It's a totally BS argument with incredibly dangerous implications. And here's how Justice Elena Kagan summed it up, delivering the decision of the court. Quote, "Suppose for some reasons of embarrassment or what have you, a person concealed her membership in an online support group or failed to disclose a prior speeding violation. Under the government's view, a prosecutor could scour her paperwork and bring a charge on that meager basis, even many years after she became a citizen. That would give prosecutors nearly limitless leverage and afford newly naturalized American citizens precious little security." That sheer insanity and utterly ridiculous argument is why this decision was unanimous in shutting Trump down, 9-0. Every single Supreme Court justice rejected Trump's argument that he should be able to imperil the citizenship rights of nearly 15% of the American population. Gee, doesn't it suck, Trump, when you put a guy on the Supreme Court to do your evil bidding and one of his first official actions is to vote against you? Maybe Trump should stop being such a racist bigot and trying to find every single possible sleazy way to hate on immigrants and make their lives miserable under his administration. We need to be creating a roadmap for new Americans who aspire to be citizens, not trying to overturn birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment. It's in the Constitution, you jerk, which means it's a fundamental American freedom. And by the way, people move their families here to the land of freedom and opportunity, remember, in order to provide a better life for their kids and to contribute to our culture and our economy in this country. And for those aspiring citizens, the essential rights of citizenship should just be able to be attained by taking a test of our history and government, paying an appropriate fee, and then pledging allegiance to our country. So in order to do our part as Americans to welcome new Americans, we need to create a common sense immigration process, one that recognizes the hardships and contributions of people moving here, one that keeps people together with their families here in this country, and one that creates a roadmap to citizenship for new Americans who aspire to be citizens. And once they've settled down here with us, they are Americans until the day they die, no matter what Trump or his racist, white nationalist minions have to say about it. The Supreme Court agrees, and that means it's the law of the land as it stands. So suck it, Trump. I'm Ryan Clayton. This is Content News. Come back daily for the news where we're free to share the truth.